Hello and welcome to Saurav's classes. We come to a very interesting topic around decision making questions, which is related to customers. Now, as you have seen that many of the questions that you encounter in the ZAT decision making section are related to the customer. And let's see how we deal with this kind of questions. Now, as you know that any business model or any business starts with the customer and ends with him. Starts and ends with the customer. Now, why is it so? Because as we have seen that any business means an exchange of products or services. And this exchange means there is a supply of products by the manufacturers or producers, and there is a consumption of the products or services by the customers or consumers. So suppliers supply and customers consume. That means in simple terms, suppliers sell and customers buy. So this is the exchange that happens. So it is very easily understood that if there are no buyers, in the market, then even if you produce the product, you cannot sell it. So the customer is the most important entity in any business. So that is why the customer is the king. So this is the fundamental of any business. So therefore, any business is working to meet or satisfy the needs of the customer, of the customers. Now, what do we mean by needs? Now, needs can be of many types. Now, there are needs which the customers will tell you, and there are needs which the customers won't tell you, but they want it. For example, the customers might need something to clean themselves. Now that means they need a soap, very clear, but they might not tell you that they are looking for something which is organic or which smells good or which has a particular shape. Now these are needs which the customers are not telling you. They are just telling you that they want something to clean themselves up. But as a businessman, you have to understand what are these unstated needs. These are called unstated needs. Because at the end of the day, the customers will only buy the products that he wants in these categories that have these kind of characteristics. So how do you find that out? That is the challenge of any businessman. So the only way you can understand the needs of the customer is by asking questions. So that is why you see, feedback forms, you see surveys being conducted from which the companies gather the needs of the customers. Now, once you have understood the needs of the customer, how do you satisfy those needs? How do you satisfy those needs? Now, the only way that you can satisfy the needs of a customer is by giving him quality products or services. And by quality, we mean that products which fulfill all his needs, and without any faults, without any problems. Now, what does that mean? Let's say you go to a shop and you buy a refrigerator and it gets delivered the next day. And then you find that the refrigerator is absolutely fine, but it is not cooling to the desired limit or desired temperature. Now that means he's given you a product which is fulfilling your needs, but it is having a problem. So therefore, it is not of a good quality. So hence, as a businessman, you will replace the product, you will incur a cost, which means that your profit goes down. Profit goes down. So which is why the quality becomes the number one parameter to ensure that you are able to satisfy the customer. What are the other parameters? Now the other parameters are the service. Now what does that mean? Now you supply a refrigerator which is on quality, which is working fine, but after a month there is something that is causing the refrigerator to stop suddenly and you receive a call. So the customer expects that his problem will be solved immediately. Now this is where service comes in. Now if you are not able to solve his problem quickly, then he will not buy any product from you again. Now you send a technician, he solves the problem, but the customer would expect that he would receive a call from you to inquire whether his problem is resolved. This is again service. So the customer's expectation is both quality and service, and along with that they expect transparency. Now what does that mean? This means that sometimes it may happen that you are unable to deliver as per his expectation. For example, you are supplying pizzas and you get an order from a customer and you are normally supplying within 30 minutes, but on that particular day there is a problem in the area. There is a kind of political protest going on and so on and so forth, due to which you are not able to deliver within 30 minutes. Now the customers will expect that you will clearly tell them or tell him that, sir or ma'am, I am not able to deliver within 30 minutes today because of so and so issue. So he would understand that you are being absolutely transparent with him. And it can also happen that you are able to deliver within the time, but the product might not be as expected. For example, you are delivering within 30 minutes, but due to some reason, the product, which is the pizza, is getting cold. So it is delivered within time, but not as expected. However, if you tell the customer frankly that this is the problem, maybe your insulation bag is not very good, or anything else, the customers mostly understand and appreciate the transparency. So therefore, good companies always focus on these three things, which are quality, service, and transparency when they're talking about customers. And it might sometimes happen that in order to ensure any of these, you might have to incur a cost, an additional cost. Maybe you have to replace a faulty product, replace a faulty product, or service a faulty product, or some problem with the product, or you have to deliver free of cost, or any of these kind of things. So there is an additional cost that might be incurred to meet one of these objectives, and that is always to be done. It might hit your profitability in the short run, or temporarily. It may decrease your profit in the short run, or in the immediate future, but it will increase your credibility to the customer. And this means that the customer will come back to you, and you will have more business from the customer, from that same customer. He will also be, in most cases, referring you, so you will get more business from the referrals. So this is how the customers behave. So they always expect good quality, good service, transparency, and if they get all of these, they are more likely to stick to you and give you more business. So customers form a relationship between customers and producers or suppliers, which we call as customer relationship. And this is built on trust, which is built on quality, service, and transparency. So this is the basis of customer relationship which brings in more business and helps a company to grow. So this is the fundamental of any decision related to the customers. It should be improving the trust. It should be improving the quality, service and transparency that contributes to the trust factor. Now let us look at how the customers would behave if they want to have something more from you. Now you have customers who are trustworthy, with whom you have built a relationship, and they are expecting something more, and how do you deliver their expectation? So when you build a relationship, the next thing to do is to enhance that relationship. And how do you do that? You do that by involving them in the process. Which process? All your decision processes, or some of your decision processes. So like you involve them in product design, get their ideas, you involve them in your marketing strategies or marketing ideas, and so on. So the more you involve them, the more enhanced will be the trust or the relationship between you and your customer. So this is how the cycle works. So you start off with quality, service, transparency, you build trust, and then you start involving the customer, which cements the relationship with your customer. So this is the model of customer relationship that every business follows, and every decision with the customer is related or based on these factors: quality, service, transparency, which leads to trust, which leads to involvement. So if you have any questions, please do come back to us. We'll be more than happy to explain to you in more details.